So Ben, how did you start your way in the space and what got you into it?
So, how I started, it was quite a few years ago. I was a software developer, quite a beginner, and I was had a friend that just asked me, "Hey, do you know what this Bitcoin thing is? I have a few questions." So that got me curious because I had no idea about what he's even talking about. So that what got me kind of curious, started learning, started reading about it, and followed into this rabbit hole um, of Bitcoin. Then, if you want from the technical perspective of how I started in it, it's reading a lot, or well, in the past there was much more limited resources. I guess right now you have a ton more resources that didn't exist when I just started. So I will share in the Telegram group. I already shared one of them. I can share a few more later on. But you're just read about it, just learn from YouTube, and then actually getting into development is just have fun with open source projects that you like, find something that you find useful, and go into their GitHub and play with it.
So that's actually one of the next questions. So, what is a book, podcast, or channel or website that you have used and recommend to people that joining your specific field or friends that you want to get into?
So podcasts are usually less technical. There are good podcasts, but they're usually not very technical, but they're still good. Stefan Levers is one of my favorites as a Bitcoin podcast. But for more technical resources, I'd say that you'd have to read a bit more or see certain lectures of more advanced Bitcoiners. You can find a lot of them online. I'll try to compile some recommendations and send it into the Telegram group. In terms of books, I really like the Jimmy Song's book. I think it's called Programming Bitcoin. It was very good to kind of understand a few of the concepts and the actual math behind stuff. You don't have to be an expert or a cryptographer or to do any of that, but it's always good to understand what happens behind the scenes.
Awesome. Okay, next question. What is your favorite thing in what you do today?
My favorite thing, I honestly just enjoy working in Bitcoin, but the favorite thing is probably to hear from people that are actually using something that I built or something that I help building, seeing people that actually trust it, and sorry, and actually use it to secure their financial future, right? Hearing from people that I helped is extremely motivating.
Okay, amazing. Next question. Okay, what are some mistakes that you think developers should avoid, or is one piece of common wisdom that in your industry that you completely disagree with?
So I, I guess let me think about it. So one thing that a lot of people say is that multisig is too complicated and that people should either just use a single key or passphrase with single key and shouldn't go beyond that. I think this is already completely false. When I joined the space, there was not yet Miniscript even, and multisig was still very hard to use. I agree, but I think now there are so many solutions to do advanced Bitcoin security very easily, even for consumers. You can either use certain tools, you can pay certain services to help you with that. But I think that the biggest mistake that people in the field are making is they just say, just trust a single key. It's the easiest thing to not mess up, and tell people to avoid going forward with more advanced or more secure solutions. Eventually, right now, I think it's getting easier and easier. Miniscript is still a bit hard. I agree on that for a lot of users, but just using normal multisig and even certain subsets of Miniscript is becoming quite easy. So I think people should avoid this recommendation to just stop in a very basic and not so secure setup like a single key wallet, and explore further options.
Okay, I have two last questions. So a bit unrelated, but let's see if it's interesting as well. So, what is something that you're currently learning that has nothing to do with your work and you would like to share?
Um, well, not much really. It's something I like learning new languages, which is something that I learned that is not related to my work, but I'm not sure how relevant this is here. So beyond that, not much. I mean, mostly I'm focusing on Bitcoin and software development. So I guess one thing that in software development is just how to most efficiently work and adapt to the new AI environment, which is a very important subject. I'm definitely no expert on, but I try to learn and adapt
Are you using AI in your work, by the way?
all the time now. It's got to a point where AI is just boosting the productivity in ways that I didn't think we're even like I couldn't even imagine probably 2 years 3 years ago. I didn't imagine that AI will ever get to these levels. So I was completely wrong, and I try to adapt to it now.
Awesome. So, last question is if you have any tips for developers that you think might help them become better along the way. Yeah, sorry, my internet kind of froze.
So yeah, I couldn't fully hear you.
Yeah, sorry. So, one tip that you would like to give to developers that you think is valuable and you would have loved to hear when you started.
Um, so developers in general or in the Bitcoin ecosystem specifically?
Whatever is your take.
Okay. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I found, or well, let's say in Bitcoin space or any space that you want to get specifically into, I'd say working on open source is a great way to get started. It's a great way to show your work, to show what you want to know how to do, to work together with others and just do cool stuff, see them in the wild, and eventually it can help you professionally finding a job if that's your goal. But it's also just a lot of fun and gives you a lot of experience working in open source and contributing to open source projects.
Awesome. So, thank you so much, Ben.